Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new, and if you're new I would love it if you would stick around and subscribe. So today I am going to be doing my top 20 books that I want to read in 2020. I'm not going to include rereads or releases that are coming out in 2020. So with that being said, it's been a long time since I filmed. I feel like it's been forever. And also I got a ring light for Christmas, so if I look better, that's why. And also if the angle is better, the light came with a tripod, so that actually works and isn't broken, so yay. And anyways, with that being said, let's get into my top 20 books. So the first one I have, I'm actually currently reading, and it is Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. I read Nevernight in September of last year, and then in December, like at the end of 2019, I'm pretty sure it might be my last book that I read in 2019, but I don't remember. I read God's Grave, and I'm like obsessed with all of them so far, and I wasn't planning on immediately reading Dark Dawn right after finishing God's Grave, but it was so good and left me with so many questions that I had to. So yeah, I'm a little bit over halfway through, so hopefully I'll be finishing this soon. The next book that I want to get to in 2020 is Siege and Storm, and really this also includes Ruin and Rising, because on Twitter I'm actually doing a buddy read of this series where we read Shadow and Bone in December, and in January we're supposed to read Siege and Storm, and then February we're supposed to read Ruin and Rising. So these are books that I definitely want to get to this year. Next up we have a very popular book that came out last year, and I didn't read it when it first came out because I was in school and I wanted to give all of my attention to it. So yeah, I was gonna read it during my holiday break, but I wound up reading God's Grave and starting Dark Dawn instead, so oops. But anyways, that book is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, and I just absolutely love this cover. So yeah, I loved The Night Circus, so I'm so excited to read this book, and hopefully I can get to it soon. The next book that I want to get to in 2020 is Red, White, and Royal Blue, which I got this from Book of the Month, so I was really excited that they had it because I had not bought it yet. So yeah, I was really excited about that. And on Libby, I actually have this on hold. It should be coming through soon, so hopefully I'll be reading this in January or February. The next book I have that I want to read in 2020 is Howl's Moving Castle by Deanna Wynne Jones. And I know that there's a Studio Ghibli movie based off of this, and I recently was watching Read by Zoe. She made her dad read this book, and her dad really liked it too, so that's what made me really want to read this. The next book that I have that I want to read in 2020 is Scythe by Neil Shusterman, and my friends from Twitter, they know who they are, keep telling me to read this. So yeah, I've heard phenomenal things about this, so I just really want to read this soon. Next up I have Middle Game by Shauna McGuire, and this I know Kayla from Books and Lala, and I want to say Rachel Marie also really liked this book. So yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I'm not really giving good synopsises of these books because honestly a lot of them are really popular, so sorry. Next up I have Full Metal Alchemist, which I read the first 2 volumes in 2019, so this is volume 3, and I really want to read some more of these, starting with volume 3. I'm not sure how far I'll get, but at least one volume. And next up I have a book that I've been wanting to read for forever, and I saw it on like Book Outlet, but the paperback, but I really wanted the hardcover. So on Thrift Books I actually found the hardcover, and that book is Illuminae by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, and it's really cool, multimedia, which I'm sure most people probably already know. But yeah, I've heard great things about this too, and so I've been wanting to read this for like probably a couple of years now, honestly. Yeah, I was so excited that this was on Thrift Books. My stack of books is about to fall. Next up, I have The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, and this is the third book in the what's it called? The 5th season trilogy. And I read the first 2 last year, and then I started reading this one, like my bookmark's still in there. I got to page 73. I probably will just start over with this one. But yeah, I guess I was just like really burnt out with like intense fantasies because I was like binging them back to back to back. So I put this one down, not because I wasn't liking it, just because I wasn't like in the mood for it. So I really want to pick this back up in 2020 and finish it. Next up, I have a thriller, and it would be The Silent Patient by Alice Michaelides. I'm not really sure how to say his last name, but this book, I think the main character is like going to therapy or something, or the one of the main characters is a psychotherapist. So I'm like super interested in this thriller particularly. I really wanted to put at least one thriller on here because I've really been enjoying them lately, but yeah, I chose this one because my bachelor's degree is actually in psychology, so I'm excited to see that in this book. Next up, we have a book that was really popular, I think in 2018, and I just was really intimidated, I guess, by its size and that it's like a slow, I've heard that it's like a slow fantasy book. So, but now I have a little bit more faith in myself. So that book is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. First of all, this cover is one of my favorite covers ever. Like, it's just beautiful. And I really think I'll like this book. I think that I'll really relate to Laszlo just from what I've heard. So I am really excited. I'm really excited to get to this. So hopefully I'll get to it in 2020. The next book is probably, well, it's not probably. These are all like really popular books on BookTube that I've been meaning to get to for a long time. Well, besides maybe like Howl's Moving Castle and Full Metal Alchemist, but even still, they're still like pretty well known. But anyways, that's besides the point. But this is one of the most popular books, and it is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And no, I haven't read this book yet, but I have read Daisy Jones and the Six, and I absolutely loved it, so I really want to get to this one. I don't know if it has an audiobook, but like I feel like I might like the audiobook, because I tend, with like historical fiction type books, I tend to really like the audiobooks. So I don't know, maybe that's something I can look into. Next up, we have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, back on my really popular books trend here, not that I got off of it. Yeah, this was I also heard that this was really slow too from some people, so that's kind of what threw me off from it, but I still am really interested in this book. It just sounds so good, so hopefully I can get to this sometime during 2020. Next up, we have another snake book, and that would be The Devil's Thief by Lisa Maxwell. I actually read The Last Magician in 2018, I think, and I meant to read this book pretty much as soon as it came out, but I think I was just intimidated by its size. Maybe I should just quit letting myself get intimidated, but whatever. So yeah, this is the sequel, and the third book is coming out this year, so I really want to read this one. I don't know if I'll probably need to look up a summary or something of The Last Magician, because it's been a hot minute since I read that one. But yeah, I remember absolutely loving it. It was probably one of my favorite books of 2018. So I really just need to bite the bullet and read this one. The next book I have is 5 Dark Fates by Kendar Blake, and this one actually has snakes on it too. There they are. This is the last book in the 3 Dark Crown series by Kendar Blake, and I have read the first 3 already, and I really liked all of them. So again, I don't even know why I've been putting this one off, because it's not even that long. So I just really need to read this one in 2020 also. And I think I did see the audiobook for this on Scribd, so I'm considering reading the audiobook for this one, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet, because I read the first 3 physically, so I don't know how I would feel about that, but we'll see what happens. Also, I think I forgot to say that none of these are in like a particular order, besides Dark Dawn being first just because I'm currently reading it, but like the order of these isn't like the most to the least, like I couldn't decide that much. So they're all just like, I want to get to all of these in 2020. So yeah. But anyways, the next book that I have is Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand, and this is a book that when it was first coming out and being talked about, I was so intrigued by it, and I just never got it for some reason. And I think the audiobook for this is actually on Scribd too, so I might actually listen to that. But yeah, I just never got it, and then I finally got it from Book Outlet, so I was super excited. And yeah, I definitely want to get to this in 2020. Okay, 3 more. Okay, so next up we have Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire, which, okay, I kind of have like a lot of repeat authors on here, because I had Siege and Storm and Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and then Dark Dawn and Illuminate by Jay Kristoff, and then now these 2 Shauna Maguire books. So anyways, I want to read this, and this one's just small. So, and I think the audiobook for this is actually on Scribd too. So I seriously have no excuses. And next up we have An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard, and I heard Murphy talk about it all the time on her channel, and that's what really got me interested, just hearing the way that she talked about this book. It's kind of messing with the lighting, so that's funny. Yeah, so the cover is beautiful. I like how the like lines are kind of mixing in with the words. And I got this one, I think, yeah, I also got this one from Book Outlet. So I honestly forgot that I had it until I was looking at all my bookshelves to make this video, because I already had like maybe like 10 that I already had like in a list in my head. Then I was like, okay, well it's 2020, so obviously we have to make a top 20. And so I was looking at my bookshelves to find my other 10 books, and I saw this one. I was like, oh, I forgot I had that one. I really wanted to read that one when I was first hearing about it, and now I'm just like super intrigued by it again. So hopefully I'll get to this one in 2020 as well. And the last book that we have here is Keeper of the Lost Cities Nightfall by Shannon Messenger, and I read the first 5 books in this series in 2019, and I absolutely have loved all of them. And so I really want to get to this one. It's chunky though. I mean, it is like the font is really spread out and pretty big and stuff, so that definitely helps. And it's middle grade, so it's easier to read, so that helps too. But it's also still just like big. And I also want to read the rest of the series, but I'm just gonna put this one on here for now. But anyways, that's it. That's my top 20 books that I want to get to in 2020. Please let me know what books you want to get to in 2020 that aren't anticipated releases, because I think I'm trying to make another video about that. I was supposed to do more of this during my break from school, but I just was not motivated, so Oops. But I mean, it's a hobby, so yeah, hopefully that will be coming out soon and we can talk about anticipated releases on that one. So yeah, just let me know. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye!